Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling day. It has been a day of rest, a day of work, a day of insight. So we had a nice, restful start to the morning. I woke up at, what time did I wake up? 6:30-ish. And went and let Zeffy out, and we went back to bed and snuggled like we normally do every morning. And because we'd driven yesterday, I was just like, I was tired. I was like drained. We've been going quite a bit lately, so I was just sort of like, I checked the weather. Tomorrow looks much better to be downtown in San Antonio, so I figured, I'm going to go in tomorrow instead of today, and I'm just going to take time to relax and catch up on some work. So it was finally 11:30 this morning before we ventured outside the RV. So, but of course I had to get up and shower and dress in between them. That only takes like 20 minutes. But yes, it was 11:30 before we even ventured outside. We did do a Facebook Live as we walk around a little bit, but I get a little shy when other people are around when I'm doing Facebook Lives in areas where there are people. And I know people do them all the time and all of that sort of stuff, but I'm an introvert, okay? I get a little shy on things like that. So there was a lot of people coming around in that, and I thought, I'm not going to stay on this live very long, and so I did a short live about some of the stuff that's around here, like the mini golf course and the playground and the dog park and the activities hall, and that's all like it was directly across the road from us. And then I came in and we got and had some brunch, because by that time it was lunchtime, but I hadn't had breakfast. And then I got stuck in and got a whole bunch of work done today. I got worked on some marketing pieces for social media, as well as for some campaigns that are coming up. Got some created some designs for cards. Got those worked out. So I'm been working. Got a lot of stuff done today. It was awesome. Had a good day, except I screwed up my wrist again. So I have tendinosynovitis, which is an inflammation of the casing around the tendons in my right wrist, and it's mainly on the tendons that go to my index finger and my middle finger, and at least at a minimum once a year, occasionally, very occasionally, twice a year, I've got to put a brace on. So the brace is now on. I put the softer one on earlier while I was out walking Zeffy, and when I got back inside, I was like, I can't deal with this. It's got to be the stiff brace. So it's on. But it flared up so it's making it very difficult for my index finger and my middle finger to move when that flares up, because it's just painful to move them. So the stiff brace has to go on. But then I've also got tendonitis in there and carpal tunnel as well. So it's all flared up quite nicely. I'm like, jeepers. But then when I drive, I tend to drive right-handed, so that doesn't really help either. But so I got that in, got a couple of good walks in today. We've been around the RV park twice today. And then Zeffy I actually opened up the blind for her today at the front there, and you've got to have the key to do it. The only problem is every time I turn the key just to the on position, the stairs retract. I'm like, damn it, can't you do it when the engine comes on? But so it means that when you go out, you have to wait a couple of seconds while the stairs come back out. But because I got the switch flipped, they'll stay out until I turn the engine on again, or just go to the on position, not the full on, but just the on position. So I put the blind up about halfway. So Zeffy, she had a blast. She just laid up there, but then she was all this whining going on because there were other dogs out there that she could see and she couldn't go play with. And so the finally I saw this. There was a guy walked over there, and he had a what looked like from the distance an Australian Shepherd. So went over, he told me it was a mini Australian Shepherd, but I'm looking at this dog and I'm thinking, that kind of looks like a full Aussie, but I'm not 100% sure. So he said it was a mini, so I went with mini. And so we got them introduced between the fence and stuff, and then took her in and introduced them in there, and they had a blast. I posted a video in Zeffy's Great Adventures. We've got a group called Zeffy's Great Adventures. So if you want to sign up there, just go look for Zeffy. Just search for Zeffy. You can. Zeffy's Great Adventures, and then just come join the group. Come join it, because we're posting her a little. I decided that she needs to have her own group, so that she can post her own things in there. I managed to get a really, really cool picture with her today. I picked her up and I was snuggling with her, and she was laying down here with her head up against my face, and I thought, Now, normally when I pick up the camera, pick up my phone and I turn it to selfie mode, she will, as soon as she sees herself, she turns her head away. But fortunately, her head was rested against my cheek, so it made it a little easier. And I actually got her looking directly at the phone to get the picture. And I was like, yes. When I saw the picture, I was like, yes. I got 2 quick shots before she struggled and started wanting to move. So I was really, really happy to get that, because it's not often we get to have selfies together, because she just doesn't like looking at herself in the camera. And then there was, so it's been a very good and very productive day. Tomorrow I'm going to go downtown and have a browse around there, and see what's happening and all of that. I don't do my chocolate places, since I know about them. Take my little map and put where my little chocolate spots are to go and try out these chocolates that I talked about in yesterday's Facebook Live. So looking forward to doing that. So yeah, the weather's supposed to be better down there tomorrow, so that's going to be awesome. Catch the bus, go down there, and have a wander around, and then catch the bus back. And it goes right from the gate of the RV park, so that's nice. And it's only like 3 to 4 miles down the road, which will be really, really cool. So today I also posted on my Facebook wall about a thing about telling your story, and how your story can actually help other people. And people go, oh, but I don't have anything to talk about. Trust me, there are challenges that you have been through that will help someone. You know, when I was going through the cancer journey with Brad and everything else, and then when he passed, it was good to know that I wasn't alone, that other people had been through those episodes, had been through those experiences as well. So it was really good to know that I wasn't alone in the struggle and everything else. And the stories that they shared with, and the stories that people have shared with me over the years about how they've overcome different struggles and things, has helped me go through my struggles. So I was a little hesitant at first about telling my story, and then it was like, nope, I've got to tell my story. So I started off with being a one-on-one mentor with Immerman Angels, and talking to other cancer caregivers and helping them through their struggle, and using my experiences and stories to help them. I have had people who have, when I've shared stuff on my Facebook Lives or I've shared stuff on my wall, I've had people private message me and say, that goes into the other box. So I don't see it, because I only check that like once a week, every 2 weeks, saying, you know, thank you for sharing your story on this particular thing. It's really helped me. I'm going through the same thing, and it's good to know that I'm not alone. And thank you for, and now I know what I need to do to get through what I'm going through. So it's kind of, you know, people call me brave and call me strong and call me a hero and all that. I am just me. I'm just me. I'm just doing what I have to do to survive at times, doing what I have to do to grow, doing what I have to do to, you know, to learn. A lot of the stuff that I learned through other people's experiences. A lot of the stuff that I go through because it's what I may not know somebody who's been through that experience. I haven't heard their story. I figure it out. It's just that simple. If I don't know how to do something, and being an introvert, I tend not to ask for help. But when I do ask for help, people are very willing to come forward and help and share their experiences, share their stories, which then help me learn and grow. And then I can turn around and use that information to go and teach or to help somebody with their experiences as well. So never think that your story is not as good as somebody else's. You know, you might get somebody who's been through something horrific and go, oh, my story is not as bad. It doesn't matter. You've been through some challenge that somebody will relate to. So never, ever discount your story. Your story is so important. And it's not just the challenges and stuff that you've been through and the struggles you've been through. Think about your legacy. You know, years from now, when your great-great-grandkids, you know, if you've kept journals and you've written your story down, I'm a big believer in doing that too. Because years from now, you're not going to be around to tell people what life was like, you know, in 2020. What was life like in 2020? You know, like, you know, 30, 40, 50 years down the road, your great-grandkids may be reading these stories and going, wow, oh, I never knew about that. Never knew about that. You know, kids these days don't even know what a rotary phone is. You know, and some of them are like, well, what is that? And, you know, they learn through the experiences and the stories of their ancestors. A lot of family traditions get passed down that way too. So never, ever discount your life story as not being valuable. It will be valuable to someone. So if you have a look on my wall, I did do that thing there about telling your story and the importance of it. Your life will have an impact on somebody's life. Your story, your experiences, the struggles you go through, you may write them off as not being that great. I know that the struggles I've been through with Brad's cancer run, him passing, having to figure out who I am when I'm by myself, all of those sorts of things, I know that I have learned from others, but I know a lot of it has been self-discovery because I tend to not ask for help. And I get people who offer me help, and I go to turn it down, and then that little voice in the back of my head says, and I can hear all my people from my cancer caregivers group back in Virginia going, when somebody offers you help, accept it. So, that little voice, those little voices start going again. And Shannon, I keep hearing Shannon's voice. If you're watching this, Shannon, your voice keeps appearing in my head every now and again. And sometimes I go, what would Shannon do? And Shannon's been through she's been through some incredible experiences and things, and I have learned so much from her. She's just such an amazing woman, and I know she has the same thing about me. If I call her strong, she'll probably belt me one. Because when you're going through the experiences, you don't feel strong. And a lot of times you feel very vulnerable, and you feel like you're at your weakest point. You don't feel brave. It's just sort of like, I've got to get through this. You're way outside your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is here, and you are somewhere way down the road over there outside the comfort zone. And it is very, very uncomfortable. And there's times I've looked at myself and like, shit, how am I going to get through this? And it's just sort of like, Helen, pull your pants up, get on with it. Put your big girl pants on and let's go. Let's go figure this out. Is there somebody that can help us? And it's sort of like, yeah, well, I don't talk to this person and maybe they'll be able to help me, but they're always busy. And then I start justifying why I'm not going to talk to somebody. And then I give myself that stern talking to again. And sometimes I will go and ask for help. Other times it's just sort of like, let's sit, journal about this and see what comes out. Because I find journaling helps a lot when I can put down what I'm feeling, because sometimes I can express myself better in the written word than I can in the verbal word. So yes, the books are coming. The books are being written, and they will be coming out later this year about my journey through Brad's journey with cancer and his eventual passing. So and there's a lot of vulnerability in there because I know it's going to help somebody. And there's times I don't want to write about that stuff, but I know I have to because it's going to help someone. And that's basically what keeps me going. How can I help, other people? How can I help them? And the only way I can help them is tell my story, share my experiences, because they will eventually help someone. So do not be afraid to share your stories. Do not be afraid to get out there and never, ever belittle your story. Your story has a lot of meaning to you. You may not have suffered the passing of a loved one, of a spouse. And you may think, oh, but you've suffered the loss of, that's really, really big. Yeah, it is for me, but it may not be for you. You may have some other struggle that to me may not seem that big, but to you it is a huge mountain. So never, ever discount your story. Never discount your story. Get out there, tell your story, tell your struggles, talk about your struggles, talk about what you've learned from them. Because you are not the person you are today without the struggles and the obstacles and the lessons that you have learned along the way. People keep asking, one question Brad always used to ask me, and this was after his cancer diagnosis and everything else, if you could go back in time, would you change anything? I said, absolutely not. He said, what, not even me getting cancer? I said, not even you getting cancer. And he was like, why? And I said, because if you hadn't had, and this is during his remission time, I said, if you hadn't had if we hadn't gone through that cancer journey that we went through and the struggles we faced and, all the tears and the laughter and everything else, we would not have met some of the people that we've met who are now amazing, incredible friends. We would not be the people that we are today because of those experiences. And when he thought about that, we were like, oh yeah. And I remember in his eulogy, I was talking about that story in his eulogy. And I said, if people were to ask me today if I would change anything, the only thing I would ask for is more time. More time with my sweet pet. It's the only thing I would ask for. But I know it's not a possibility, and I know I just got to keep moving forward. miss him like crazy, but I know that he's here. I know he's not on this plane of existence. He's on another plane of existence. And every now and again, he shows himself to me or lets me know in his way that he's still with me in a way. So, okay, that's it for me. I'm being a mess again. So go have... So, and if it wasn't for the experiences I went through with Brad and his cancer stuff, I would not be super fantastic and sparkling. That would not be my thing. I had to earn that. I had to earn it. I had to earn the right to be super fantastic and sparkling. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without the struggles and the stuff that we went through and the determination that we had and everything else. So to all of my friends and family who have helped me through every struggle that I've been through in my life, I want to say thank you. To those of you who will help me through struggles that are yet to come, thank you in advance. I am just very blessed and very grateful to have the people in my life that I have, to have learned the lessons that I've learned, to have those that have helped me through struggles. And I'm very blessed to be able to pass my experiences along to others to help them through their struggles as well. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I am going to go and pull myself together, have some dinner, and then plan my day in downtown San Antonio tomorrow. So you will hear all about it tomorrow. And if I remember, I will do some Facebook Lives. So have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. Hei konera.